It's really interesting when you read my lyrics.
I guess we'll kick things off with the lyrics from the music video that we found from the back of the hoodie, Euphoria. Alright, so we're here, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the song Euphoria. We'll be diving into the music video. Now, I do want to say, you know, there are going to be a lot of subtle hints and clues in this video that are going to be not so apparent, and then there will be others that'll be extremely apparent, and we'll dive into all of them. But that being said, I'm going to kind of slice and dice this music video a little bit. It won't be all continuous because I'll get slapped with the copyright, and that's not what we're here to do. But let's go ahead and dive in and find some of these clues. Okay, so remember when I was talking earlier about patterns? Well, this one has to do with this woman. This woman in this music video seems really powerful for this cute little blonde thing, but Tom speaks about women a lot. He goes back into Angels and Airwaves with this character Vivian in the game. Many times over in a lot of music videos, it's this blonde woman. Whether it's correlated or not, I'm not 100% sure, but Jake Barber mentions a feminine energy in the UFO space.
No, it was a very feminine energy, I'll tell you that. It felt like the spirit of God.
Now, Chris Bledsoe also spoke about a woman in white, which is very interesting as that seems to correlate to Tom DeLonge's artwork in Angels and Airwaves.
But now listen, when the bull went over, I land on my back and I'm getting up the run. So I roll over, now I'm looking this way. And behind me, there's no cow anymore. There's a woman there. She's about 3 feet off the ground. She's glowing to the color of the moon. There's a circle of light on the ground. And she looks at me and she says, "You know why I'm here."
Again, I don't know fully, but it's something that I wanted to point out and should not be overlooked. Got that fire deep within those eyes from the atom bomb when you were only 5. That correlates here.
On July 5th, 2016, DeLonge posted a statement on Facebook with a picture of the gates at Area 51. In it, he describes meeting an unnamed general in his 60s who told him that during the Cold War, we found a life form.
So at the gates of Area 51, the general stated we found a body during the Cold War. Look, the atom bomb was created in 1945, quickly following Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Cold War started in 1947 and went up to 1991. So somewhere within that time frame, we ended up finding a body of extraterrestrial origin. Undocumented UFO information started roughly around 1933, recovered by the Nazis in the Black Forest. Shortly thereafter, we heard the stories pop up about a thing called the Dagglocken. Then came the documentation of Kenneth Arnold, which was June 24th, 1947, and then shortly after that, July 8th, 1947, Roswell. I would put those in the notes if I were you. Why did I talk about that forever? Well, because it all correlates back to the 1946 Atomic Energy Act that was also stated by Carl Nell. Who exactly is Carl Nell? Well, he is actually one of the colonels who first came out and stated we are not alone in the universe with 100% certainty.
Non-human intelligence exists. Non-human intelligence has been interacting with humanity. This interaction is not new and it's been ongoing.
I'm wondering and I'm curious, how confident are you that that is true?
There's zero doubt.
The next clip is actually Carl Nell specifically talking at the Seoul conference in 2023 about the Atomic Energy Act and how it's currently blocking Congress from getting all of their information to the public.
So there's some subset of records that the Congress has found evade this mandatory declassification review, and they're stating that that's due to the Atomic Energy Act of 1954. So you can imagine, you know, some of the sort of historical background that might have precipitated that post-World War II, Manhattan Project, sightings going on at that time, and using that same security apparatus for this topic. So that's a very significant finding that Congress is putting out there for folks that are paying attention.
The Atomic Energy Act is a U.S. federal law. It controls nuclear materials and facilities. Originally passed in 1946, it was revised in 1954. The act established the Atomic Energy Commission for both civilian and military control, later allowing private sector development of nuclear power under government oversight. Today, agencies like the Nuclear Regulatory Commission and the U.S. Department of Energy carry out its functions.
Now there's a sophisticated disinformation campaign targeting the U.S. populace, which is extremely unethical and immoral.
This is where we get into how the program does illegal things. So for instance, the Atomic Energy Act of 1954 was worded in such a way to include all kinds of nuclear materials, such as UFOs.
Besides normal nuclear material, we can also protect stuff that is similar, and that's basically the justification of the secrecy on this topic, is the material that we recover sometimes does have radioactive properties.
And this was essentially used to keep both Congress and the president in the dark. Let's get back to the music video. Oh, did you notice Tom giving you a subliminal message right in his music video? Probably not, but take a closer look and you'll see the one eye. Very interesting. That kind of references either a hidden message and or the Illuminati. This is not the first time Tom's done this. As you guys can see here, we have a history with Tom DeLonge doing the hidden eye. As far as I know, Tom DeLonge is not connected to the Illuminati, but he might be a Freemason. Just saying. Freemason logo became extremely clear when Tom DeLonge started Angels Airwaves. Here, he decided not to hide it at all. You can find it on his fretboard, on his guitars, on his drum set, hidden throughout his music videos. Pretty apparent there is something going on here with the Freemasons. The thing I found pretty interesting about the Freemasons was the fact that they're extremely esoteric, meaning like they're not hiding anything. It's all in your face. It's just specific symbols that have meaning to other people.
In Freemasonry, the eye, often called the all-seeing eye, represents divine watchfulness and omniscience. It's a reminder that God, or a higher power, is always observing. The symbol, sometimes shown as an eye within a triangle, ties to enlightenment and truth. It's also linked to ancient Egyptian iconography, like the Eye of Horus, which symbolized protection. No secret conspiracies here.
Interesting enough, you know who else was a Freemason? Paul Revere? The man who says the British are coming, the British are coming. Look, Tom could just be giving a subtle nod to a fellow brother inside of the Freemasonry, or he could be just using it as a play on words to say something really, really big is coming. Essentially like Lou Elizondo did with his book Imminent. Not 100% sure, but it is a very interesting correlation nonetheless. For those of you who don't know who Lou is, here's a little brief history for you. Lou worked at the Pentagon under a branch or program called Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, also known as ATIP, which is now AARO. He left the company and ended up going over to work with Tom DeLonge at To the Stars Academy, where things were great for a while, but seemed to fizzle out near 2025. So next up on the list of big clues, this is it. The whole music video has led up to this 2 frames at 4:16. It's literally 2 short frames of an Area 51 Special Agent P. Anderson card with a thumbprint, meaning it's a person. And then right here, we have above top secret, and then it says intelligent black. Take a look at all of that stuff. Big clue right there. Pretty sure there's 2 specific references to this entire piece. Number 1 is Tom's book. This book is Pote Anderson, the Dreamwalker. And this little guy is referenced multiple times in Tom's videos. And also, if you guys would notice right there, that is a Freemason logo. So this is interesting because this plays off with another music video. We'll get to that later. But also, who exactly is this P. Anderson fellow, and why was there a thumbprint? Let's go figure that out. There is speculation to this, however, I think this might be the man who was holding the card in the music video, and this is why. General Winston P. Anderson, this man right here, a very decorated person working for the Air Force, flying B-24, B-29 aircraft. For those of you who don't know, that is one of the bomber planes that was used during the Cold War. Now, granted, it was 1946, he flew a good chunk of his life stationed in 2 locations, Hawaii as well as Washington, D.C. This man right here very well could be the man they're referring to, the man in black in this last music video with the Area 51 top secret code. A man like this definitely very well could have access to that. We do know Tom DeLonge just spoke earlier in this video about standing at the end of the gates of Area 51 and learning that they found a body of unknown origin.
Right, yeah, he absolutely could have been pulled into something hush-hush like that. So his work in Air Force logistics, like directing supply for tactical air commands and serving as Inspector General, put him in charge of resources for advanced aircraft and maybe even early stealth tech trials. During the 50s through 70s, groups like Skunkworks tested prototypes under military oversight, and generals oversaw the budgets and maintenance chains without ever signing their name. If he was looped in, it'd be invisible. No memos, no press, Just need to know briefings that vanish after. Makes you think, huh?
Our other suspect is Major General William McCaslin. This man right here specifically is the head of Lockheed Martin. We're gonna have to do some more research here, but he's a suspect that's not leaving our watch list. All right, so we've skipped ahead to 3:20. Now the woman has already killed the guy. She stole the card, which is interesting, so keep that in mind. She stole the card, but she's getting in the truck. Now, as a cinematographer, this stood out to me. That right there is a hidden clue to something, BAM, and it's in a seal that looks like something you'd find on the dollar bill. If anybody knows what that is, let me know in the comment section. That'd be awesome. All right, next big clue, 3 minutes, 27 seconds. We have a license plate on the back of the truck that stands out absolutely. What is that? 9PA51A. So 9, I'm not sure what that is. PA very well could stand for Pote Anderson, Area 51. So very well could be that, but if we keep going, we're gonna get coordinates. So as we see here, the next frame at 3:31, the woman holds a cell phone with coordinates. This is a key. She is just north of that at a place called Pipewash. So Pipewash, California, she's north of this little location. If we go check it out on Google Earth, this is what we come to find out. The only thing I was able to find in Pipewash was this standalone tank that's just been running around doing circles. So it could be something to do with maybe Area 51 being moved, or it could be Facility S4.
S4 at Area 51 is rumored to be a massive underground hangar where the military supposedly hides alien tech and craft.
Lazar was actually the first person to bring this up in 1989. Now, I'm not saying this is or isn't, I just find it rather suspicious. And after doing further research on the area, I did find a really strange green tarp that seems to have some more correlation to other parts of our story. Take a look. This is where we're getting somewhere, all right? Look at this. Now, nothing dawned on me until I started watching this. This is a movie of Monsters of California made by Tom DeLonge. This movie just got released, and as I was watching this movie, I ran across this clue. At 28 minutes, 54 seconds into the movie, you guys are gonna see an image of two men, and right there, ladies and gentlemen, happens to be a spade with a 41 and almost what looks to be like an X through that logo, representing almost the same exact logo here. But what the interesting thing is the man in the top right and bottom right in the image happens to be the same person, and this man here is David Fravor. He happens to be the same dude that was at the UFO hearing.
As you know, my name is David Fravor. I'm a retired commander in the United States Navy.
So we're gonna take it one step further, find the exact logo right there that was in the picture. Oh, let's not forget United States Navy Striker Fighter Squadron 41. There you go. Also, one more thing. He gave you the Tic-Tac video. He was the guy in the jet flying as he shot the Tic-Tac UFO scooting across the sky. Just needed to put the icing on the cake. Another suspicious thing I found interesting about this tarp was down in the bottom left-hand corner. If you were to like take your camera and zoom it around on Google Earth, you're gonna notice almost like a triangle-shaped object that seems to be covered up. Just a bit suspicious, just something I thought I'd point out. So definitely an interesting find at Pipewash, but let's get back to dissecting some clues from Euphoria music video. Obviously, they're going to start having some fun in the music video, but one thing I want you to notice is right now he currently has the power. She doesn't like that. In the next scene, she whips him around, pushes him up against the wall, and gives him these eyes. Now, subliminally speaking, essentially, this means that we just backed the bad man into the corner. So this video clip shows up 2 times in the music video, and I'll tell you right now, nothing is ever done without intent. Right here, we can see the woman taking her clothes off, getting ready to set the man up in a trap. Also, these images back here gathered my attention. What do we have? We have a unicorn, and we also have an X. Nope. That is a lioness. So the unicorn essentially symbolizes purity, innocence, power, and magic. The lioness symbolizes fierce, feminine strength, protection, nurturing, and leadership. So that's pretty interesting right there, because just by taking a look at those 2 specific images, we're gonna see that she is very special, very innocent and pure, but she has a very dark side, strong and majestic. That's interesting. We'll keep that in mind as we move forward. I thought I had been satisfied with the pictures, but for whatever reason, I kept going back, and I needed to find out what in the world that image was with the lioness on it and why it was shaped like an X. Almost, I would say, Egyptian writing inside the image. So I went back to that and started studying that a little bit, and this is what I found there. Let's go ahead and type in this X. Let's find that. So I stumbled onto this video called Code X.
I took a group to Egypt following the encryptions left to us by Leonardo da Vinci, embedded inside the Vitruvian Man.
Hold up. Isn't that on the front of the hoodie? Yup.
As well as the La Belle Ferronnière, the portrait of Anne Boleyn, the mother of Queen Elizabeth I, as well as the Last Supper itself. We realized on that trip that the Last Supper was a working map of the King's Chamber in the Great Pyramid of Giza.
I don't think we're dealing with the average people here. This just got interesting.
Tampered with DNA and all the chimeras and all the weird shit you see on pyramid walls. It's like half man, half bull and all this weird shit. Even when you look at the ancient Sumerian texts, it talks a lot about those who from heaven to earth came, and you know they created a slave species. And so there's Nephilim. The Nephilim was part, yes, the giants of the Bible, all that kind of stuff.